Okay, so on unions, I have a little experience with them myself. I was working at Train earlier this year and joined the AFL CIO union there. So that was, before that I didn't know anything about them, but I learned a little bit from that experience that, if when it comes to absences or whatever, if you have external situations, but you're a good worker, they can help back you up, pretty much save your job for you. Also, the wages was 10.80 an hour before I got there, and they had just gotten it raised up to 12.50 by the time I started working there. So that was my first experience learning a little bit about how they worked. So I guess I'm for unions, because I feel like companies, big companies like that definitely can uh, take a hit on the profits a little bit in order to give their workers higher wages and better benefits. Uh, I feel like that's just the right thing to do. Uh, but I can see being an employer how you wouldn't want that to happen. You want to keep the cost of labor as low as possible. So, four of the facts that I found interesting. Two, from the employer perspective, that non-union employers will try to stay non-union with anti-union tactics or progressive human resources program strategies, that makes unions unnecessary. That kind of, I think, goes into the spillover effect of other companies offering similar wages and benefits that unionized companies offer, because just in an attempt to stay non-union. Also, that another one was that employers can do employee lockouts in order to put pressure on unions as far as making deals happen. Didn't know anything about that prior to reading it. From the employee perspective, that, I mean, I guess it's common sense, but that, unions have, or workers within companies that have unions have higher wages and more access to benefits than non-union. Learned that in the that article, that case that was provided. And also the difference between protected and unprotected strikes. I didn't know anything about strikes before reading the chapter, and just that some have partial rights to reinstatements, and the unprotected strikes, you can be discharged by your employer for it. All of all of that was new to me and very interesting. So I guess that is it. Peace.